Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Hall Family Wines Happy Hour. My name is Catherine Walt Hall, and I am so excited today. Actually, this is a very special happy hour because it is being shared by three of my very good friends who also are just amazing winemakers. We're going to be joined by Janet Trefethen, Barbara Banke, and Stephanie Honig, who are each going to be talking about their wines, and this is being broadcast over all of our Facebook channels. So welcome, and let's bring on these wonderful women. Hey guys.
Hey.
Hi.
So wonderful to see you all. It's just really, really great. We never see each other. We used to see each other in person, and now just to even be able to be together virtually is just such a treat.
You look as pretty as ever, Kathy.
Thank you very much, Janet. You look wonderful yourself. So listen, let's go through each of us talk a bit about your winery, how people can reach you, make a reservation, can they come see you? Just let your fans know what's going on with you and at the wineries. Janet, why don't you go first?
Oh, we are so excited that the governor has lifted things up and we can now have tastings live. People can come to the winery. We are open. We have 3 different flights that people can sign up for. And if they go to our website, they can get the details on each of those, but they can come and get a tasting with food or without food. And it's all outside, and we've done, I think, a really credible job in terms of protecting everyone from any COVID virus or any virus at all. It's great.
It really is important that not only when we're open, but we want people to not only be safe, but know that they're safe, so I'm with you there. Stephanie, what's going on at Honig?
Well, it's a beautiful day here in the Napa Valley. It's almost 70 degrees outside, and thank God we're open again. So we've missed seeing people around. So we have outdoor tastings only, of course. We have a big, beautiful tent with heaters, and you can book by appointment only. So book by calling the winery or on our website or emailing us at hospitality@honigwine.com. And one of our restrictions, I know, is parties of 6, including non-tasters, and all of the protocols are in place, of course, for everybody to be safe.
Great. And Barbara, you've got so many different venues for people to visit you. Does it vary from site to site, or?
No, they're all open, thank God. Oregon's been open for a while, and of course California just reopened, and we're very excited that everything's back open again. It's all by appointment. It's all with a lot of safety protocols. So it's something that you can do. You can come and enjoy the fabulous weather in Napa Valley and come out and see us. And we have all kinds of different tasting experiences, library tastings, reserve tastings, regular tastings, and it's really fun. And the views are spectacular. The scenery is wonderful. The people are great. So come on down.
Hear, hear. And same for us as for every rest of our group. At Hall, our 2 facilities in Napa for Hall are open for outside tastings. At Walt, our facilities in down at Oxbow in Napa and over in Sonoma are open, and our Baca facility over in Healdsburg, Baca Walt facility, is open too. So come see us, and we'll be safe and enjoy the outside. So everybody, I thought just sort of to kick this off, we would go through, play a little game. Oh, wait a minute. Before we go to the game, Janet, tell us about your wine. So just so we cannot go through this whole time without drinking some wine. So tell us about this great glass.
Oh boy, I didn't think you were going to get to that, Kathy. Thank goodness. Trefethen, don't let the name scare you. Think of a tree with feathers in it. Trefethen. We started in 1968 as a vineyard and started the winery in 73. It's a National Historical Landmark. We're all family. My parents-in-law bought the ranch in the beginning, and it wasn't in vineyard then. And the winery was a defunct, derelict old building. And then the next generation is my husband John and myself, and we started the winery. And now we are being bossed around by Haley and Lauren, our kids, who are just have taken over now and are doing a great job. We've got one passion, which is to produce absolutely the most extraordinary wines possible, exclusively from the grapes we grow. We do not buy any outside grapes. And we have been held to that passion since 1973 when we first started. So when you drink Trefethen, we planted the vine from vine to bottle. We did it all. And I selected the Chardonnay to pour today on purpose because I think it has such historical significance to California wine, Napa Valley wine, in that this wine, actually, it was the sister to this wine. The 1976 vintage in 1979 won the Gault-Millau tasting, won the World Wine Olympics in Paris, and was ranked the best Chardonnay in the world. And oh my goodness, that was really amazing to us and all the rest of the world. I think it was a shot that was heard around the world. The French got very upset, challenged us to a rematch, and 6 months later at the Hospice de Beaune, it did it again. And this really helped put California on the map, because not only California, but just it was okay to drink wine. Americans were not drinking a heck of a lot of wine, but once they found out that the home brew was admired around the world, I think that just helped start this role in attitude and pride in the California wines that we make, Napa Valley specifically, even more specifically, the Oak Knoll District. And I don't want to take away from everybody else's time. So is my time up, Kathy? Or shall I keep going?
I suppose.
I think we should drink, don't you?
I do too. Let me just top it off by saying what is really exciting is now here, 40 years later. Decanter Magazine just not this. It's the 2018 Chardonnay that we're having right now. It was the highest placing white wine from the United States.
Wow.
97. So here, we kind of again 40 years later. Woohoo!
That is awesome. I love this wine, Janet. The minerality is it's beautiful. Really, really beautiful. Let's take an audience question. And by the way, to everybody who's watching, if you've got a question, get it on in. We'll get as many in as we can over the course of our time together. Do we have a question for Janet? Janet, I hope you can read that because it's really small here.
What's your favorite Napa party to attend? I guess I would probably say Stomp, which is a fundraiser for farm workers in a way. It's put on by growers and vintners, and it's just a heck of a lot of fun.
Nice. Well, let's go on, Stephanie. Let's play a game before we go to Stephanie, because we're gonna. And this game is called Never Have I Ever. Is this? We're gonna have a statement. And never have I ever done something or other. And if any of us have done that, we're going to have to take a sip. Okay, so I'm expecting, none of us have to drive anywhere. So here we go. First question. Never have I ever put ice in my wine.
Cheers.
Okay. Never have I ever favored someone else's, never have I ever favored someone else's wine over mine in a blind tasting.
Cheers. If we've done all these things, this is going to, we're going to have a lot of consumption.
Yeah, I think. Let's see. Okay.
I know where there's more.
Yeah. Never have I ever pretended to have the correct wine on a virtual tasting.
No.
Cheers.
I think we do that a lot, actually.
They don't know all our secrets.
Yeah, I know.
Kathy, you're giving them all away.
Right. But we always make sure it's the right color, folks. So Okay. Never have I ever consumed expensive wine out of a paper cup.
Cheers. Dom Perignon is really good in a paper
Yeah,
cup.
you haven't?
I have. It's
No,
really good.
no. Barbara has, but I didn't see.
Barbara, I mean, Kathy caught me. I was trying to remember on that one. I've had some pretty amazing wines out of solo cups, but boy, if it's one of those really rare, unique, fantastic old wines, especially old Bordeaux, no, I'm sorry.
No, not that. I just meant expensive. I didn't mean the most expensive ever.
Okay, I'll drink.
You have to drink to
No,
that.
by the pool. How else would we have it by the pool?
Yeah, of course. All right. Never have I ever. Here, I need another question up here, folks. Not to you guys, but to us backstage. I'm just going to make one up if you don't put one up.
Uh-oh.
Never have I ever chosen someone else's wine over mine. Did we already do this? I don't think so. We did do this.
Yeah,
We've
and a blind tasting. Yes.
I'm having too much fun, and it's only been a few glasses. So anyways, one more cheers to everybody. And thank you,
Cheers.
Janet, for all this wine.
Here, here.
So let's go on, Stephanie. Tell us about your wine.
I just want to add in my favorite party. Can I just do that?
Yeah.
Real quick? Because my favorite party is your holiday party. Your when you throw for all these wonderful women. So I miss that party so much. It's the best. So
Me too. That's so sweet, Stephanie. All of you come to, I really am honored by that. Thank you.
You have to echo that. It's a great party.
it's the best.
That is a wonderful party. So
I
I hope we can do an in-person party.
I hope so.
Here,
I'm hoping. Yeah.
this year we'll do it. We've all gotten our vaccines. We're going to be there, Kathy, even if you don't have the party.
I'm there.
Showing up.
Yeah.
So we'll bring the to you. So my family's winery is Honig Vineyard and Winery. And I picked this wine for a couple of different reasons. We do not make a lot of it. We only make about 300 cases of it a year. It's a single vineyard wine, and it's actually from Oaknoll. So it's right by Janet.
I love that. Love that.
And so we're in Rutherford, a little further north of Oaknoll, more in the geographic center of the valley. This Oaknoll property is a little further south of us, so it's cooler and makes for very elegant and supple wines. And we partner with a family called it's the Raphael family, and we make a single vineyard wine from their grapes every year, and chose to honor their heritage and put their name on the label as well. So we make exclusively Sauvignon Blanc and Cabernet Sauvignon, and we have a few different single vineyards that we make, and this is one of our prized single vineyard wines. So 2012 was a pretty idyllic vintage with a lot of, a long growing season, dry days and cool nights, and this wine is showing beautifully right now. So I just wanted to share it with a special group. So, but we're like Jan, we started also in the 60s. My husband's grandfather purchased this property in 1964. And he was in the advertising business in San Francisco, was selling off all the grapes, had the dream of someday retiring and making wine, but unfortunately he passed away in the mid-70s. So at that point, my father-in-law, mother-in-law, and my husband's aunt and uncle inherited the property, and they didn't know anything about wine or the wine business, so they hired a gentleman to get the business up and running, and founded the winery in 1980. And just started with Sauvignon Blanc exclusively then. And a couple years into that, they realized that this gentleman knew how to make wine, but didn't know how to sell or market wine. So they were losing all the money they were putting into it, that they decided to get out and sell everything. And at that point, Michael, my husband, was 21 years old, and he was in college, and he had grown up in San Francisco, but spent his weekends and summers here in Rutherford. And he felt that if they sold, they'd never be able to afford to buy it again. So he wanted to do what he could to keep the property in the family. So he left college at the age of 21 and started selling door-to-door Sauvignon Blanc to restaurants in San Francisco, telling people why they should have a Sauvignon Blanc on their wine list. As you may remember, in 1983, there wasn't a whole lot of Sauvignon Blanc being consumed. And he would make his deliveries in his station wagon every morning, go home, shower, have lunch, and go out and sell every afternoon. And that's how we got started. So and then about 10 years later, we started with Cabernet Sauvignon, but our focus remains of just the two varietals. And that's the part of the fourth generation. So Michael and I are in that picture, and we live on the winery property, and hopefully figured if we have 4 kids, we would broaden our chances of someone being interested in the business later.
So,
Stephanie, it's such a pretty wine. It really is beautiful. And in my, we're deep into Oak Knoll, having really helped get the AVA started. And it has that brightness that OKD is known for, and the elegance in this. It's really a beautiful wine, and it's 2012. Yeah, I'll bet it's got 10 more years anyway, but it's beautiful.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you so
really
much.
nice, Stephanie. I love the high notes in the wine, and it's definitely coming to the dinner party tonight. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank
And
you for
I love the
sharing.
fruit in it too. I mean, it really is beautiful. It's so fun. I know your Sauvignon Blanc so well. You make the most beautiful Sauvignon Blanc, Stephanie, but this Cabernet is just beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
very much.
really great. Okay, let's put up an audience question for Stephanie. And here it comes.
Outside of Napa, Sonoma, what other regions for wine do you enjoy? I would have to say Champagne.
Yeah.
That is my other love. Yes. I fell in love with this industry working with champagne and selling champagne in New York. So yes, I have a lot of favorites, but bubbles are definitely my favorite.
You're a sommelier, aren't you? Don't you have?
I've studied for my Master of Wine, my MW. So I'm a diploma of the WSET, but not a sommelier.
Yeah.
Different path.
That's great. Congratulations. It's not an easy test.
No.
No, but I took it so long ago, I don't remember anything on it. So
You might have to do a refresher in Champagne when we.
I might have to. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun. I'll come. Come on.
Okay, perfect.
Well, Barbara, it's now to you. Tell us
Great.
about your wines and
So
your
this
family.
this is the 2016 Cardinal, and Cardinal is a blend of 4 of our mountain vineyards from Napa. And this particular one is about 52% from the vineyard on Spring Mountain. And then another 25% from our vineyard on Howell Mountain. And the rest is from vineyards on Diamond and Spring Mountains. So the idea behind Cardinal, which we've been making since 1983, was to create something really pleasurable that really embodied the Napa, the greatest of the Napa vintage of that year. And so we have these mountain vineyards. Our fabulous winemaker, Chris Carpenter, who you can catch bartending on Fridays at the Rutherford Grill when it gets back in gear. That's his hobby. He says that this wine is like a symphony, and he likes to bring the parts together to create a seamless whole and something that is very pleasurable, but that can last for a long, long time. So I hope you enjoy it. As I said, it's a mountain cab and it's a baby.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. What vintage is this?
It's 2016. So
Yeah. Wow.
yeah, it's very young. And those were my kids with me, and I am now a grandma of 7.
Oh my God.
So they're all in the business. All the kids are in the business, and I didn't go for 4. I only went for 3. But fortunately, they all like the business. So that's good.
But lots of complexity. I mean, there's just so much going on in that glass. It's, I think you've got all the mountains in there.
Yeah, the aromatics on this are amazing.
Yeah.
It has, some cocoa. I mean, it for being such a young wine, it really jumps out of the glass with the aromatics. It's beautiful.
It has some muscle too.
Yeah, there's plenty of there's plenty of muscle, and I think these wines age very well, but they're still pleasurable to drink at this age, which is only 5 years old.
This is really pleasurable, but you can just see that this is going to be beautiful as the years go, more and more beautiful as the years go by. Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice. Well, let's take a question for Barbara.
Surreal experience. Well, one of them, I have a vineyard in Australia, and I was walking in the vineyard. I usually walk right at dawn, and I was walking in the vineyard, and it's a beautiful vineyard called Hickenbotham, and I heard this thump, thump, thump behind me, and there were 2 kangaroos that
No way.
yeah, that were jumping up behind me, and they're really big. They're really big, and they're not as cute as you think.
Yeah, like how big are they?
6 feet.
Oh my
they're
gosh.
huge. Yeah, and they like grapes, but yeah, that was definitely the most surreal. But
So do you run or do you freeze? What do you do? What's the kangaroo?
I just let them pass by and continued on a walk the other way.
You didn't challenge them to a hopping contest.
I did not.
Well, how high do they jump? I mean, do you fence off vineyards in Australia, or?
They pretty much let them jump through because they don't do that much damage, and they tend to come through at dawn and at dusk. Yeah, no, it's not fenced, and they're just hopping right along. We also have koalas in that vineyard who are much cuter. Yeah.
You know, that would be an event just to have pictures, have Barbara walk us through all of her different vineyards, which are really all over the world. That would
Wouldn't be fun.
Yeah. We should do that. You should do that for us sometime, Barbara. Take us around on a tour.
Yeah, that vineyard is really spectacular. And
wow.
My last trip before COVID was to go there, and that was last February. So I'm dying to go back, but I'll have to wait a little bit.
Yeah, totally. Okay, let's go to. I'll do my wine. Also a Cabernet. This is really great because we've had our cabs have been different vintages. Stephanie and I both have a 2017, right? So this is a 17 is your, no, wait a minute, Stephanie, yours was a
I
12.
had a 12. I had a single vineyard at 12. Yours is 17.
Yeah. Wow,
yours-
yeah, okay. This, we did not plan this, but it's wonderful. I think that we all brought different vintages because when you make premium wines, as we all do in Napa Valley, there's nothing formulaic about it. And so much of how wine turns out responds to just the climate and the season and everything that happens in a vineyard over the course of a year. So I think this is just wonderful to have everybody be able to try these wines. And if you all haven't been drinking them side by side, you should, because it's fun. So anyway, this is the 2017 Catherine Hall, which I picked because, let's see, I love this wine. It comes principally from the first vineyard that Craig and I bought together in, there it is. It's called the Sacrochet Vineyard. We're 750 feet above the valley floor, and we are, so we have this, the benefit of sort of this, as all hillsides do, we have sort of a longer hang time because on the fruit, which is good. You want the grapes to have a longer growing season, so we have sort of cooler days and warmer nights, so you have just longer time for the fruit to develop its complexity. The soil is tufa soil, and it's so it's it minimalizes, which means the berries are smaller, and it's just been a really it's been a really wonderful vineyard for us to be able to grow grapes on. What will I say to you about this? Well, it's we like the way it tastes a lot. We always, the most difficult thing, and you all here, the three of you will appreciate this, is that the most difficult thing for wines that we make off of this vineyard, and we make a couple of wines off of Sacrochet, is that this tends to be very tannic, because the berries are so small and there's a lot of different qualities to the vineyard that produce wines that are very tannic. So we sometimes will blend this from other wines. This 2017, for example, has a little bit of Merlot in it, which blends it a bit, but it sometimes we'll add in some fruit from some other vineyards as well. But anyway, 2017, Catherine Hall. Cheers.
Beautiful. Kathy, can I tell you, I don't know if I broke the rules by doing this, but I opened the bottle last night and had it with dinner.
Oh,
and,
good.
Yeah, I mean, it's just showing, it's just evolved from last night. It was beautiful last night, but it's even softer now. So yeah.
It's really nice. It's refined and powerful and a wonderful example.
Thank you.
A Napa Cat.
Thank you very much. It's been, as we all know, it's quite wonderful to have our names on a bottle, and it gives you, I think, a particular sort of pride, but also sort of influences the focus you put into a wine too. So, okay, well, audience question. I hope it's going to be in caps because I am having a hard time seeing this. Okay, good. Which vintage of this wine is your favorite? Okay. To drink right now, it's actually the 2013 vintage. So this, I mean, I like the 2017 a lot, but for me, and I'd just be really interested to see what you all thought about your cabs from 13. But for me, our wines from 13, the odd years, 11, 13, 15, and 17, we think, but in particular, the 13 and the 15, I think are a little more muscular. Excuse me, we blend this wine because we want it to be luscious, but it still has a lot more sort of gravitas, and I think ages, the wines from those years sort of age better. So I guess I would say that I love the 13, but if anybody is watching and you have a 13 Catherine Hall in your glass, I would drink it now because it's really showing beautifully. I mean, it's really luscious and soft, but also has just a lot of structure. So, well, my goodness, I think we are. Oh, I hate this. I was just looking at our time and we have to, well, I'm told that we have a little more time. So let's take another question. Do we have it? Here's a question. Oh, this is from.
How has the business changed for women over the years?
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my gosh, what a great question. Who wants to go first?
Oh, I will.
Oh, good.
I'll come in after Barbara.
Yeah, when I first joined the business, I was a lawyer, and this was 1983. And my husband, Jess, took me to WSWA, the Wine and Spirits Wholesalers Convention. And there were no women, none, zero. So it was that was a surreal experience, shall we say. But it has changed. There are so many wonderful women owners and winemakers, and there always have been. There always have been great women in the wine business. I have a friend who has a winery in South Africa. It was started by a woman in the 1600s, and she was widowed 5 times. But that was, yeah,
Whoa.
not a good bet as a marriage partner, but a good bet.
Wow.
And then, of course, our Freemark Abbey was started by a woman. So there have always been women in the wine industry, but now we're everywhere, and we're taking over.
Now there were a lot fewer in the industry in the beginning. I think that's been the biggest change. There are a lot more women in the business now. And the attitude towards women has definitely changed. And I started out and it was, you go out to work the marketplace and there weren't women in the marketplace. And I was, you were with a liquor salesperson that didn't know anything about wine, smoked cigarettes like a train. Man, I couldn't wait. Boy, I'm just so happy we have come a long way, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Stephanie?
Yeah, no, it's definitely been a change in the right direction, but a gradual change. So I remember about a little over 20 years ago in New York, there were some women when I would walk into a distributor, a very few. I mean, it's a whole new world now, and I think women have a lot more opportunities. And it's still, I feel like it's still a male-dominated business on the sales and distribution side, particularly. But it's definitely evolved and changed for sure.
I think back to the old days. My dad was a grower. He didn't make wine. He grew grapes for other wineries. And he took me to these meetings of the growers at the Grange. And this was in Mendocino. And I remember there would be all these old white guys, and some of them would bring their sons. And lucky for me, my dad would bring me, but I just, there were no women and there were no girls. I mean, this was back in the 1970s, and there was just, there certainly were no role models. Mm-hmm. And I just think it is so wonderful when I mean, for all of us, we all, I think, experience this. We all, each of the three of us, we have daughters, we have children who are in the business. For them and for all of our the people who work with us and who are in this industry, they see women who are in the business. So anyway, it's just been it's wonderful now to think that there are role models out there for others, and I just feel very conscious of the fact that I can hopefully influence, and my guess is that all of you feel the same way, sort of influence other women to feel comfortable in taking on more responsibility in our industry
Mhm.
and in our businesses.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So you all, we now have gone over our time, but I just want to say I so cherish each of the three of you for your friendship, but beyond that, just for what you do for our industry and for our community. And you really are, you make fabulous wines, that's clear, but also just as people, you are all so honest and direct and professional and human. So I think everyone has had a chance to see that today. So I have a little sort of a personal side to everybody. So thank you everybody for joining me today. If you are okay, I think we should all say a few words before we take off, and maybe I'll start with you, Barbara. Maybe some last words to everybody before we go away.
It's really good to see you all, and I love seeing people in person, and it's been so kind of sad this year that we haven't been able to do that. But I have hope that by the summer it's going to be a new era, and there are those that say that it's going to be the Roaring '20s again, and that sounds fabulous to me. So I hope that is the case and that we can all get together soon. And in the meantime, I've enjoyed these wines tremendously, and thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you. Stephanie, what do you say?
I echo what Barbara says, that this has been a very difficult year for everybody, right? And in the hospitality business, we need the connection. We need to be together. So I love that we all have come together in this setting, and I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for all of you, but I look forward to better times ahead, to hosting, to having our gatherings again.
Janet?
Oh, Kathy, you're just so great about bringing people together, whether it's via Zoom or in person. And I thank you thousands of times for today. And, and we were saying earlier, I've got both my vaccines. Some of you have too. And they say that once you get that, within 10 days, you're 99.9% protected. And so to me, where are we going to go party? It'll be so great to see everybody in person.
Kathy's house in about a month.
Okay.
I'm on it. Yeah. So good.
Everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Cheers.
you to everybody. Thank you.
Start the weekend. Thank you.
What a perfect start to the weekend. All of your wines, well, they're fabulous. To those of you who are watching, I hope you're following us on Facebook, on our channels. If not, do it. We at Hall will be back every week with our happy hours. And to everybody, whether you've had all your vaccines, as Janet and I have had, or not, get them when you can. Stay healthy and sip up.